So sadhana, real sadhana, is a consistent sacrifice. And the actual qualities of your own performance of this sacrifice determine the result. So you must find out if you are using attention in the midst of this ordeal of sadhana in such a way that at most you are simply a little bit at a time purifying and improving your grossly limited life or state of existence. This is something you must discover, and if you discover that that's so, then you can still change it. You could still go beyond that, but you must find it out. Otherwise, notions of the seventh stage of life and so on are just fantasies, you see. It won't turn out that way, you see, if you don't do the sadhana. It's like people, practicing a conventional religion, imagine that because they believe in such and such a way, in such and such a religious doctrine, that after death they're going to go to heaven and so on. Well, you have to do the sadhana. Belief doesn't determine it. Belief only cuts so deep. You see. What do you do? What is attention about in your case? Attention is destiny. Guaranteed. What you do with your attention, and you're completely free to do what you will with it, what you do with attention determines destiny. Just that. That's exactly how it works. Attention, you could say, is location. It's pure location. It has no dimension to it. But the location of attention determines destiny, because where attention goes, so to speak, becomes a choice in space-time. Attention itself, as I said, has no dimension to it, but what it's associated with has all kinds of dimensions to it. So if attention is by tendency locating itself in a grosser space-time configuration, then it will remain there, you see. Those dimensions of space-time that are gross in nature will remain the apparition, the destiny, in the absolute, until such a time as attention is deflected or moved otherwise. Once established in such a configuration as the present one, you see, it perpetuates itself, because attention tends to remain there. You must be moved in your attention to go beyond this particular configuration, or it will simply continue to unravel itself in terms of this gross possibility, you see. And it's only one fractional range of total possibility. But even the subtler planes are countless, and none of them are absolute. This is what you find out in the ordeal of sadhana, when these possibilities are encountered, you see. In that event, one can make the same choice one made relative to the gross plane. One can choose to make it a sacrifice and go beyond. Those who make higher dimensions of existence into a sacrifice do not become fixed in them, go beyond them, go utterly beyond, ultimately. But those who can't make that choice remain fixed in that locus until they're moved above it or below it, variously within it. Attention is moving about in a matrix of space-time, tending to become fixed in one location or another, perpetuating destiny there until it becomes unsatisfactory. Ultimate wisdom realizes that there is limitation everywhere in this grand matrix or cosmic mandala. And therefore, by that wisdom, the sacrifice of attention itself is made. And that is the ultimate or perfect process that becomes the realization of the seventh stage of life and ultimately divine translation. But it's not an automaticity, is it? I've spoken to you about this, how the simplest practice in the way of the heart can potentially realize even the seventh stage capability. Well, that's true. It is potentiated such. This is possible. But it requires the profundities of sadhana. I got the feeling when I first passed the Lovananda Gita to you in those first weeks, people were imagining, you see, just a little casual devotional practice and the seventh stage realization is going to happen to them and so on. Like there's nothing to it, you see. Great realization requires the great sacrifice. There's no two ways about it. I've given you all the means for it, but you must do the sadhana. It's not going to happen as an automaticity, and you will not move beyond the beginner's practice unless you become involved in the greater sacrifice. It is not possible without the sadhana.